why I decided to do a book talk. I'm not very good at them. I've never done one before. I'm not really good at reviews either. What am I doing? Ow. Okay, I dropped the book. It's fine. Here, and today we are going to be doing a book talk about The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. I finished this book actually an hour after I finished filming the library haul video. I finished this book before I even started editing that video, so it was really awkward listening to me like explain the book and be like, yeah, I finished that already, that's fun. I wasn't planning on doing a book talk for this, but when I finished reading it, I was like, I have to, because I have to somehow recommend this book to other people. Basically, what this book is about, if you guys haven't seen my library haul video, this book basically follows a main character, A.J. Fikry, and it just follows his life. In the beginning of the book, you have him and his life's kind of a mess, because he's still sad about the fact that his wife died 2 years prior. His old rep just died and he got a new one. He doesn't really like her, and he basically, after he gets one of his most prized possessions stolen, it leads him to a set of events that make it so he leaves his door unlocked for the bookstore because he lives above it. He leaves the door unlocked while he goes jogging, and he comes back and he finds something left in his bookstore for him that changes the rest of his life. So I don't want to tell you what it is because I feel like that's spoilers, even though it literally happens in the first like 50 pages of the book. But it's still, when I heard about this book, they told me what the thing that he finds was, and so the entire time that I was starting the book, I was just like, okay, when does it happen? But I really, really enjoyed this book. The one thing that I can say about this book is that it's a simple read. It doesn't have too much complication stuff going on. There's not really that much. Like, there's a storyline, but there's not really anything hard. It's just a simple read. So if you're looking for something that's like action-packed or a thriller or a sci-fi, or it has like romance in it, or it's just like dramatic, this book is not for you, because this is not what that book is. This book is simple. It's like simple, it's realistic, but it's so nice. I was reading this book, like, before I picked this book up, I was kind of like, I don't really feel like there's gonna be that much stuff that happens in this book. It doesn't seem like, I feel like I'm going to get bored of this book. I did not get bored of this book once. It was such an interesting read. I enjoyed this book so much while I was reading it, and I'm probably going to end up reading this book again sometime in the future. But that's all that I can say. Like, it's a simple read. I really enjoyed it. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I was going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars, but something happened and it made me upset because it was so out of character of what the rest of the book is like. I couldn't get over it, but it was like such a small, insignificant thing that I kind of had to. There were twists in this book that I wasn't expecting. There were things that happened in this book that I wasn't expecting. There were things about this book that I absolutely loved. For instance, at the start of each chapter, there's not really chapters, but they have these little excerpts. I don't know if you can see this, but they have these little excerpts, you can't really, where basically AJ, our main character, writes about books and writes his opinion on them and stuff like that about what happens in them. They actually are really important to the story, and you don't realize that until the end. And I can't tell you guys why they're important. I'm not going to tell you guys anything other than that because spoilers! So basically, I would recommend this book if you have a day off and you just want something easy and nice and cute to read, because this book was so cute. Then this is a book for you. If you're, say, going on vacation and you just need something to read while you're on the plane ride, this is something for you. Or you're going on like a road trip or something, again, book for you, because it's such an easy, simple read. There's nothing complicated in it. There's nothing that requires your mind to think too much. So if you're looking for a stress relief, that's another thing. This book is for you, and definitely go check it out. Even if you don't think you're going to be reading it anytime soon, I would so put it on your list to read eventually, because this book is so cute and there's so many lessons that you learn in this book, and you get to see the characters develop, and that is one of my favorite things. You're going to hear me say that a lot in these book talks. If you see character development in a book, I love that. I can never get enough of that. And the author of this book did such an amazing job at not only developing the main character, but also developing the secondhand characters, because they played such an important role in this book. all of them, every single one of them, and never once was a secondhand character not given the attention that it needed. And I loved that about this book, and it was so good. And obviously there was stuff in it that you could tell was going to happen, but that made it even better. So again, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. I loved it. It's up there on some of my favorite books to read. Go read it. It's amazing. If you have time, just do it. I promise you won't regret it. And lastly, this book is for book lovers. If you guys are watching this, all of you are book lovers. You're going to love this book because all the characters love books, and it's just a development that has to do around books, and it's so good. Okay, but I think that that's all that I can say that's spoiler free. So if you're planning on reading this book, I would leave the video now because I'm about to spoil some stuff that happens in the book. Goodbye to all of you who need to leave, but now on to the spoiler section. So first things first, let's talk about Maya. Maya is one of my favorite characters. She is obviously the package that he gets, and one thing that gets me is that he describes her as a big baby, and so I'm assuming that she's like maybe 1 year old. But no, she can talk, she knows her name, she can say her age. She's 2 years old. She's not a baby, she's a toddler. Hello? I can understand, he's never dealt with babies before. He doesn't know the terminology, but still, I got really confused when I heard big baby. So I was assuming it was like probably like 1 year old. No, she was 2. Okay, sorry. I realized that earlier when I was like thinking of what to say for this book, and I was just like, that confused me so much. But other than that, Maya is actually one of my favorite characters, which I actually find funny because I was just talking about how I love character development, and Maya is actually probably one of the most static characters in this entire book. Because you hardly see her change. The only thing you see is her age. You don't really see her like her character change at all. It's mainly the same. She's very outgoing, she's very curious about everything, she loves reading, she loves learning things, and that stays the same throughout the entire book. But I love her still. She's still one of my favorite characters. I love her personality in the book. It's great. And then my other favorite character is probably Chief Lambius. I don't know how to pronounce it. And he's one of my favorite characters because I love his character development. I love how he takes over the bookstore at the end of the book after AJ dies. I love it so much because in the beginning of the book you see him and he doesn't even like reading. He doesn't read at all. And then all of a sudden after AJ gets Maya, he goes to the bookstore and uses reading as an excuse and he starts reading, and then AJ teaches him to love reading, and then he just falls in love with it. And so after AJ dies and they're gonna close the bookstore, he's like, okay, whatever, let's he's like, screw retirement, let's take over the bookstore because everyone needs a bookstore. And one of my favorite quotes, a town is not a town without a bookstore. That's like one thing that's repeated throughout this entire book, and I absolutely love this because this book is for book lovers. Yeah, no, but Chief Lambius is one of my favorite characters because of that. And I love the relationships that happen between all the second characters, like between Lambius and Ismay is her name? I believe so. And I love the shock that happens when you realize that Ismay actually knows that Maya was Daniel's daughter, you know, her husband. And it just makes so much sense why Maya's mother was there in the first place, and why, like, just everything starts to make so much sense. And it was just like a click realization. And I didn't even think about it when I was reading the book. I didn't even think, oh, maybe Daniel's the father of Maya. No, it didn't even occur to me. And so that was just like shocking to me. And then she kills him, which was great. But she kills him in a way that they wouldn't think that she killed him. It was interesting. It was an interesting choice, you know? I don't know. But it was funny because I actually forgot that the book was split up into 2 parts, like it is. And so I got to the part where AJ and Amy get married, and I still had like a third of the book left, and I was like, what are they planning on writing the rest of the book about? And then I remember that it's part 2, and then you see Maya as a teenager and you see that she's like she's a writer, and then AJ gets cancer and he decides that since he can't talk, he's going to write down all the things that Maya will need in her future because he has a lot of tips and tricks for her because she's going to end up being a writer. And I just feel like that's why I would reread the book, is because knowing that, it would open my eyes to so many things that I'm pretty sure I missed throughout the book when I was reading it. And so I love that aspect, and I'm probably going to pick this book up again in the future. But getting to the last thing that I have to say, which is why I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars instead of a 5 out of 5 stars like I was going to, is because at the end they kill AJ off using cancer. And while it made it, they tied it together beautifully, it was so sudden and so shocking that I felt like it didn't fit the whole persona that the book had been giving off the entire time. Because the book was basically saying, oh, I don't like cliches, I don't want to be like everyone else, like, I want to be a character who's grumpy and rude and very picky and doesn't like this and that, but also transitions to be very kind and a little more open to things, but still not really open to things. And you get to the end of the book and then he gets killed off by cancer, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, the way that they tied it together, it made a lot of sense. It was just so sudden, and I could not get over it, that I had to mark it down 0.5 stars. On Goodreads, you'll see that I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, because you can't really give it like a 4.5, you know what I mean? But yeah, no. Other than that, I absolutely love this book. It's still one of my favorite books. Like I was saying, I'll probably pick it up again in the future because I really enjoyed it. I'll probably buy it that time. This book was amazing, and I hope you guys, if you're still watching, enjoyed this book as well. And I hope you guys who have actually read this book before enjoyed it just as much as I did. I'm curious to see what you guys think down below. But anyways, that's all that I can say about this book, so thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to stick around, and if you do, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!